Sometimes the biggest journeys in life, the ones that really change everything, they don't start with some big bang or a grand announcement. Nope. They often start with just a quiet moment, a single decision that sets a chain of events in motion that no one could have ever predicted.
And that's exactly the kind of journey we're going to get into in this explainer. It's a story that kicks off with something I think we can all relate to, just looking for a more meaningful life. But where it ends up, well, it raises a massive question. Who's really responsible when a government system, a system that's supposed to help, completely fails the very people it was built to support?
So let's meet Victor and Maryna. They're just getting back from one of those tropical vacations. You know the kind. The one that makes you sit back and just question everything. You've got the warm sea, the palm trees, and suddenly you're thinking, there has to be more to life than just this. But then reality hits. They land back home to the familiar gray Vancouver sky, the bills are piling up, and they're facing that big, nagging question. What are we actually doing with our lives? And how can we make it about something more than just paying the bills?
Now, Victor, he's not some kid just starting out. This is a man with a ton of life and career experience under his belt. He's been through it all, different jobs, immigration, the whole shebang. So he wasn't looking for easy money or just another paycheck. No, he was searching for a role where his skills, his life experience, where he was genuinely needed.
And then, one day, he's online, and he lands on the website for a government-backed organization called Community Living British Columbia, or CLBC for short. And you got to picture this site. It's inviting, it's filled with these beautiful photos of smiling people, cozy homes, and it's got these really inspiring slogans all over it, like this one. It's more than a job, it's a style of life. I mean, that sounds pretty good, right? The opportunity they were presenting was to become a home-sharing provider. The idea was simple. You open your home to an adult with developmental disabilities, you help them become more independent, and you help them integrate into the community. On paper, it looked like a nearly perfect system. The government provides the funding, and a whole network of agencies is there to organize the support. And the structure behind this is really key. See, CLBC isn't just some random nonprofit, it's a crown corporation. That means it's formally owned by the province of British Columbia. And that connection to the government, well, it creates this immediate sense of trust, of legitimacy. You see that and you think, okay, this is solid, this is a secure, well-regulated system.
So Victor and Maryna, they talked it over together. And for them, this felt different. This wasn't just another job. It felt like a real chance to genuinely help someone. It was an opportunity to build a new life where their home wasn't just a place to live, but was part of something truly important.
As Victor kept researching, reading stories from other providers, looking at social media groups, the system just kept looking almost perfect. But hidden in all the positive and inspiring information, there was this one small detail that appeared again and again. And at the time, it just seemed like a minor formality.
And here it is. Almost every single document and description emphasize that the home-sharing provider is not an employee. Instead, you're classified as an independent contractor. Now let's be honest. Most of us, when we see a term like that, we probably just nod and scroll on, assuming it's standard legal language. And that's exactly what Victor did. But here's the thing. That classification, it wasn't just a formality. It was the absolute foundation of the entire system. A very deliberate choice with profound implications for who holds all the risk and who holds all the power.
And so after all the research and all the discussion, they made their decision. They were in. They felt ready. They were going to open their home and provide support to someone who needed it. And they were just filled with hope, totally convinced that this was the right path for them.
But this is where the story takes a sharp, really unexpected turn. That single decision, born from this genuine desire to do good, would eventually lead them to provide 139 consecutive days of unpaid round-the-clock care. And ultimately, it would all end in a legal battle in court. The gap between the promise and the reality they were about to face, it's just staggering.
Which really leaves us with a critical question to think about. If you saw an official, well-designed government website promising support, fairness, and this meaningful new lifestyle, would you ever suspect that behind that polished exterior, there's a system that could actually leave you without weekends, without vacations, and without your basic rights?
That hopeful decision was just the first step. Next time, we're going to take a closer look at how this whole idealized system starts to work in practice, as Victor and Maryna get involved with their very first partner agency, Strive.